beat to rap what key beat to lock. We beat to rap what key beat to lock, but I'm cool. Take my word, take my. What's my favorite word? Bitch.
It was a clear afternoon, the hose was out. Sliding up cashmere, bro just got out. Bought him shoes and clothes, a zipper drawer. A couple $100, then he knocked him a go. I'm knocking on the bitch cause it's necessary. She bought a nigga Gucci and Cartier. I'm tryna go to Boston, there's money there. I'm rolling up a chop in the barber chair. Sprint a van with the TV. Every real P need one of these. I'm from the slums, but shit can get real. You gotta be from the bay to know how I feel. I'm not famous, I'm just a real ass nigga. Who needs a record deal when you know how to get it? They tryna book Uncle Larry overseas, but for that, bitch, I need 20 G's. Smoking on a chop with the top down.
でも電話してくれない。オークランドとウクレンドから世界チャンピオンバーチャルプローズ始まるよ。バーチャルプローズ。
To my motherfucking man, 50 grand, the alcoholic man, inject a tall can in his bloodstream if he can. Biggie Smalls, the 50 stroker, MC provoker, top the tie smoker, huh? I like to max and Maximas and Acuras. Your girl butt cheeks, I'm smacking, huh? The raw rapper, spine snapper with the little, cause all my lap a shot, the but I ain't your fucking comforter. And if I ever fall in love, I bet I'm fucking her. Ask the if I didn't shook her. Then I dropped the Chucky.
You guys miss me? That world champion sound, the Vrtlpros podcast. My name is Al, aka Henny Omega, aka Henrita, aka the Bandman, aka Bougie Nagata,
aka I'm so bummed that this mic is like for real broken.
aka Two Phone Scorpio, aka Super Brazy, aka Pete Gas Break Dip Dip, aka Dr. Keith Drapinski, aka No Speak Broke Boy, Kami Shinsuke Stack a Mill Up, and with me, one half of the Holy Scheming Army, one half of Blemolition, one half of the Heavenly Thotties, one half of the Bread Hunters, my main oos, Mike.
Hey, what's up, motherfuckers? It's Mike, aka Ramune Reigns, aka Crack Saber Jr., aka Sticky Fuji, aka what are we gonna go?
Tommy Creamer, dude, bring that one back.
aka Tommy Creamer. There we go.
Especially with that sticker that you showed me earlier on today. Mike's a nasty man.
Hello. This is Doc, aka Dr. Lariat, aka The Goonistic Fringe, aka Gunther, aka Kenny Gumega, aka Toru Yae no, aka Genki Horiguchi Main, aka Soft R Shimizu, aka Remy Marvin, aka Pete Gas Break Dip, aka The Great Swagske, aka Jacko Chandalaga, aka Tiger Mask the Dark Meat, aka Black Tiger for the Culture, aka Ultimo Dragon Fruit, aka Teddy Longanisa, aka Baton Corbin, aka Andrew E. Cornick, aka The Stray Ballot, aka your host. And with me today, I consider him a legend. The last cool wrestling podcaster. We got, I know that's embarrassing to say, this guy is more than wrestling podcasting. This guy is a podcast machine. This is Mike.
Hey, what's up, motherfuckers? It's Mike, aka Tam Tam Bigelow, aka Wavy Boy Smith. I don't remember any of the rest of my AKAs. It's been 5 years, so I don't remember any other ones.
Hey, man, like, I appreciate you coming on and giving me at least Tam Tam Bigelow, because that's like, I'm always thinking of things like steal because the AKAs are all stolen.
Yeah.
Wavy Boy Smith is probably the dopest one you got, man. Honestly. And then like when you guys would open with these AKAs, like how did you come up with your AKAs? Because I kind of write them down. I kind of have like my own thing, but how did you guys come up with it?
Well, Al started it, so it was kind of like I felt pressured that I had to do good. So I would like write some down and see what worked. But yeah, if Al wasn't so adamant about it, I probably would not do it because it's tough. It was tough for me. Anytime anybody wrote in, I felt like all of their AKAs were much better than mine.
God, there's like I wrote in so much times to you guys, and I put a couple of mine. I was kind of like embarrassed, so like I put Katsuyori Chibata a lot, but then it was the way that I'll pronounce it is Katsuyori Shibata, so like there was like no difference. But and like I just love the food puns. Those are like my favorite puns are food puns because every podcast about wrestling eventually becomes about food, and I've taken that lesson to heart. I guess like there's so much I appreciate that you did, man. There was the Pain Pigs that I watched every Monday night because who the hell would watch Monday Night Raw over that? There's like, and like when it comes to, like actual like good pieces of merchandise, I know I talked to Scott about this, the Motor Boss, about how you guys sent him like designs and stuff and he would like rejigger things up. But like you guys had the hottest drops for wrestling oriented merchandise like ever, man. Because I did get something, but it was like kind of weird because I got it off the secondhand market where somebody kind of like just like said, okay, I got this, you want this, and I was like, okay. And that was like the Eddie Guerrero anniversary shirt. But y'all just like had like some of like the best, Dr. Keith Drapinski. Like it was so good, man. It was so good.
Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah. Like people don't know that Mike is actually very humble guy, and I'm very thankful for that he came on here so I can do a bootleg version of his show, just like other people have done bootleg versions of his merch. So we're here because like I'm a Filipino guy. I know Mike is an Italian, from New York, also from Chicago. So like I'm kind of like I'm not stepping into your seat, Al. I've asked you many times, so big respect. I usually start off the show by asking, so how did you get into pro wrestling?
It was kind of just like always on TV when I grew up, so I don't really remember a time of not watching it. So it was just kind of like I was little and my uncles would have it on, so I just kind of became a fan.
Oh, okay. So like, what was it about the wrestling that like gripped you?
I don't really. Well, I remember when I was really little, like where I could barely remember stuff. My uncle showed me, just like Cactus Jack. My uncle showed me Jimmy Snuka jumping off the cage on Bob Backlund on like a videotape, and I was just like, that was like the craziest thing I saw when I was like 4 or 5 or however old I was, and yeah, I think I was just like hooked from there. And I remember like the scary characters would interest me. Like I remember when my uncle's taking me to like what would be considered indie wrestling back then, and like Kamala was on it, and it was before. I don't know if it was before he was in WWF or like I had just never seen him before, but I was like, man, that guy's fucking scary, and like so stuff like that kind of hooked me, I think.
Yeah. There's something about like those characters like a Kamala or like a freaking the Missing Link.
Missing Link was another one because he would do his promos in a cave, and I was young enough to not like. I knew wrestling. I don't think I ever believed wrestling was real, except I think my uncle convinced me that lucha libre was real. But so like I thought like in Mexico it was real, but everything else I didn't think it was real. But even with like Missing Link doing like promos in a cave, I was like, man, is that where he really lives? Like I had no idea. So yeah, that one got me too.
I mean, it seemed like he lived in a cave. I thought that Jake the Snake lived in that cave set they had before.
Yeah.
Like, That's funny. My mom actually, when she first came to America from the Philippines, one of the first things she did was go to MSG to watch Bob Backlund and Jimmy Snuka.
Oh wow,
That's like
cool.
her. Yeah, that's cool. That's kind of
Yeah.
weird. But like Bob Backlund was her guy, and then
Mm,
my uncle didn't tell me it was. My uncle, the way he told me that it was kind of fake was because he loved it, right? My uncle loved
yeah.
wrestling. He's like, oh hey, that the way they make I'm gonna get canceled if I say how what he called George the Animal Steel, but he said that word, and I was soft R, and like
Yeah.
he was like, that's a bullshit. That's not his real. He's like really a crazy madman. That's the real George. And then he showed me like a Betamax of like the old stuff, and I was like, oh okay, cool, uncle.
My
That,
uncle, my uncle told me too. He was like, he's like really, like I don't know if it's true or not, but he was like, yeah, he's really like a college professor in real life. I don't think that's true, but he said that, and I was like, I don't. That doesn't make any sense. He's crazy. So I didn't, I didn't really understand it. But yeah, my uncle tried to tell me that too.
Yeah, it's funny because what like people stand out to like the old people in my family because like uh my mom loved Bob Backlund, my uncle loved he loved Georgie still he loved I don't know how the hell they got WWF in the Philippines, but he loved Bobo, Bruno, Tiger Mask. Um, he I think him and my other uncles they all watched Inoki Ali like live.
Wow.
I don't they because like they when I remember when I was watching like WCW they're promoting like I think they're promoting the collision in Korea. One of my other uncles said, "Oh, that's Antonio Inoki, he fought Muhammad Ali." And like doing the Filipino accent is just so fun for me because I can do it. So, and like when you like combine when you like see that it's like funny to like I'm watching wrestling and then like in my family like an inordinate amount of people have watched wrestling and don't judge other people for watching it,
Yeah.
which is funny to me because like usually you get someone in a family or you like get relatives that say, oh, you watch that fake bullshit. I do. My dad did that to me and his little brother, and that's how he rented like a UFC tape and told me that's the real fighting, and I'm like, oh, okay. But like whatever characters stand out to like the older people in my family, I remember like my aunt to this day when we talk about wrestling or like I'm wearing like a wrestling shirt, she's just that's the one with the Bam Bam Bigelow, and that's the name that stands out to her. And like to hear that with a Filipino accent is funny. The Bam Bam Bigelow. It's always the Bam Bam Bigelow, not Bam Bam Bigelow. But like it's funny to see like what characters stand out to in the past, and it's usually like guys who are characters.
Yeah.
I don't really hear about like work great guys, but my uncle really did love Tiger Mask because I guess he was cool and he had a mask. But yeah, I man, and like when I want to go through like some of your other stuff, like your recommendations for matches on Pain Pigs, it's usually not it wasn't usually the best matches. It
No.
was mostly like the most bizarre matches,
Yeah.
and I love that, man. So when you were doing Pain Pigs, how did you go about selecting which ones you would have on there?
Uh, I I try to like find stuff that is would be good for like a whole audience, basically, because that's how you got to do it. You can't just put on like a 27-minute All Japan 90s match that's just like all technical wrestling because obviously all different kinds of people were watching those, so you just got to do stuff with like big crazy stuff in it. So uh and after a while it kind of took a mind of its own where like I would try to see what people were really into when they watched it and be like, oh, I should find more stuff like that. And if people weren't into it, I'd just be like, I'm not putting any more stuff like that in there, and so on and so on. So and obviously it was during COVID, so it was I had a lot of time to
Yeah.
go through matches and,
Uh,
and find good ones and ones that kind of fit the framework and everything.
Hey man, you were the reason that I signed up for Twitch, man. So like because like on your Discord, which is my favorite wrestling adjacent Discord that I always go on to. I know people are gonna be kind of hurt when I say that, but like you guys don't understand. Him and Al were the coolest wrestling podcasters out there. No offense, but like yeah, you know who you are. And like when I went on the Discord, there's like the kind of community you guys fostered, it was the same community you guys would hear like on the emails that would get sent, because the same motherfuckers would be in there. You know, I love all you guys. Seriously, it's such a good community, and it's not even just based on wrestling. Which I also liked about your show was like, you guys talked wrestling, but it wasn't a wrestling podcast. There's like a difference between when people try to, because like when people try to cover this as a weekly thing or like do like a weekly like review of a show, it kind of like becomes so samey all the time. And yeah, man, I really just really miss your guys' show, and I know people get busy. I know sometimes that's what happens. So yeah, man, I just gotta tell you, I miss the show.
I miss it too, but you know, what are you gonna do? It's I like not having to do it, but
Oh yeah,
it does suck because it really is. It's like everybody kind of does the same wrestling podcast over and over and over and over again, and they might change it like a little bit, but there's never really any different ones. And I don't know. I just it's in any kind of other genre you could find different podcasts. I mean, still like other genres, it's like a lot of the same thing no matter what. But
yeah.
Wrestling, it's super the same. Like I'm trying to think of like different ones. Like Way of the Blade is different just because they do a very specific thing.
Yeah.
But outside of that, it's like I can't really think of anywhere I listen to like, oh, this is cool, this is like different. But I mean, or if if it's very different, it's just like dudes are way too nerdy, and then it's like I can't listen to it. So
Yeah.
it's one or the other usually. We Watch Wrestling was kind of different, but they've done so many episodes at this point that it's kind of run its course.
Oh yeah, it's kind of, We Watch Wrestling. I like Mike McCarthy and the other guy he does it with. They're funny. They're actually funny because they're actually comedians. I find like a lot of like what pro wrestling, like there's funny ones, right? I love the Laps fan because they're irreverently funny, and like there's stuff like that. But like there's so many guys who are so fucking one of my friends said this, sauceless white boys, or they're so freaking dry about it. Again, sauceless white boys, because white people, apparently, allegedly, white people don't like sauce on anything. But I think that's more of a different kind of thing where people don't like textures. And if I bring it up further, I'm also gonna get canceled. So anyway, when we talk like about like what's cool, like and who is like a natural host, like I feel like having the natural conversational skills, which is like pretty much, you know, it's innate in people, like to be able to have a conversation that's engaging. That's what you need in a good podcast. And you, man, you're more than just like Vrtlpros and 7-inch Club, which is really good. I love that because like you guys break down records that I've never listened to, and probably
I mean a lot of people have never listened to those records.
Yeah,
so it's okay.
But like you make it so interesting and so engaging, and then you throw in like a fast food review in there every once in a while, that like it just like keeps me listening. And if you guys weren't interesting, then it wouldn't be interesting. And I feel like that's the lost art of like the podcast. And then when you get so many of these wrestling podcasts jammed up all against each other, and it becomes, okay, this is a news one, and they kind of do reviews. This one kind of talks about what's going on, and you're like, okay, so everybody's kind of doing the same show, everybody's kind of covering the same shows. So my thought process is what could be different, and I'm just missing you guys. And that's pretty much how I started this thing, is because I felt like everybody is kind of doing this stuff, doing the same thing, and I like having conversation with people about why they're fans, and like learning that you kind of got into it from your family. That's cool with me, man. Because you know, I was assuming it was gonna be like a story about Bruno because, you know, maybe I'm kind of racist because they're Italian. But
no,
like,
I think King Kong Mosca and Angelo Mosca were bigger in my family than Bruno.
wow, okay,
Yeah.
man, I love that King Kong name for wrestlers. It's just like a King Kong Brody is a cool name, and it's cool that he never got sued for it. And like,
It is King Kong Mosca, right? Am I remembering that right? Do you know?
I think so. I'm not gonna go and like correct you, sir, because I respect you too much. So I just think also, like, when it comes to wrestlers, the thing that like helps you stand out is your name, because like you could have like Terry the Hulk Boulder, or you could have Hulk Hogan, or you could have like you know, you could have Bret Hart, or you could have Bret the Hitman Hart, or you could have Ricky Starks, and then you have Ricky Saints. You know, all these names are the same and equal.
Yeah.
But like, what's important is like having something that stands out, something that sticks. And when I hear the name that stands out, Vrtlpros stands out because when I just saw you like on my, I think it was like when I used to have an iPhone, it was like, oh, suggested for you or something. Vrtlpros, because I would listen to like video game podcasts and wrestling podcasts. So instantly, when I hear you guys' name, it brings me to Virtual Pro Wrestling, which 64, Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, which are two of my favorite wrestling games. Is that where it came from?
Yeah, Al came up with it. I really surprised it wasn't taken, and I'm really surprised by how many people never made that connection too. Where I guess there's not every wrestling fan played virtual pro wrestling, but I think the type of people that listen to our podcast probably did. So it's just it is really odd that no one had taken that because it's such a simple name and it's Googleable to an extent. Obviously, you get the video game a lot, but yeah, it's just a very easy name to remember.
Yeah, man. And you guys had the best drop music too, man. It's just, I'm not sure where you guys found those remixes, but every time you guys had like those interstitials between like the conversations, it was always like the best stuff. And I know you come from the music background. Was that both of you guys deciding which music to use at the time, or?
No, that was mostly Al. Al did all the hard work for Virtual Pros. So
Oh man.
there's like, every once in a while there'd be episodes I did, but not too often. So it was mostly Al.
Just like a Filipino to be a DJ, man. God. And yeah, man. This is stuff that's like really like interesting to me because you guys wouldn't like have like a theme for you. Mean you guys would have theme for your shows,
Yeah.
but you guys didn't have like a set like this is how you cover it. Like one of my favorite things that you guys did was like, and that we never got to see was like the summer shame outfit.
Yeah.
I wish I would have seen you guys. And yeah, I did see the photo of you with like the Jeff Hardy armbands, which rules.
Yeah.
And like, just like, gosh, did you guys who did was it Al that wore the Roman Reigns vest?
Yes,
Oh
that
my
was
God.
Al. I think I only lost twice, and I think Al won 4 times, but the last time doesn't count because we never got around to doing it. But
Oh man,
yeah,
I mean, that's something I would adapt. But like, it's just like the stuff like that, the relevant stuff. Like you kind of engaged us as your fan base, and like, hey, you vote for this, and you get to see which one of us gets to dress in this ridiculous outfit. that kind of engagement is what I want. Nowadays, how people drive their engagement is by saying something like super like misogynistic or super
Yeah.
like cringy, and like that's how they get all their responses. But it's just like, dude, why do my thing is why do wrestling fans give that the attention? And like that makes me think like after talking to so many of them, like wrestling fans are really weird and pathetic weirdos. It's like
I mean it's a weird hobby.
I mean it is we're a niche of a niche of a niche, and like
Yeah.
even being a fan of podcasting of wrestling shows, that's so super nichey that like what can you do? It's just like, well, when I look to you guys, it just sounds like, two guys who've known each other just talking, and that's always like the formula for what I can say is interesting to me.
Yeah.
And you've been podcasting for a while, right? How long have you been podcasting for?
Forever, man. Since like 2008, since podcasts were invented.
Oh man.
Yeah. It's been a while.
No wonder you're so natural at this stuff, man.
Yeah, I've done it for almost 20 years now, so it's pretty easy.
Yeah. I found like as far as the conversation has gone, it's easy to keep it going and to keep like my job as the interviewer is to make you come off as like the most interesting person in the world. But like it's hard when somebody doesn't give you anything and like you're kind of stuck with somebody that, I mean, because like I'm interviewing like normal people. Not to say that you're not normal. Well, you're not normal because You guys should check out this guy's doll collection. It's pretty nice. I love this guy's doll collection. It's like he has some freaky dolls and some like old school stuff that looks like it'll take your soul, but like it's really it's really interesting. And yeah, man, I'm so thankful that you came on because like I didn't. Some people perceive Mike as a little bit of standoffish, but I've never had that feeling about him. I've always felt that Mike is like one of the just like a really chill, relaxed guy. You don't give me the vibes of someone that like rages, which I did get from some other people that I interviewed.
No, I don't like doing that. I think it's just like I say a lot of stuff that's just, I guess you're not supposed to say to people, and I don't mean that in like an edgy, shocking way. I'm very honest about things, and I think sometimes people take that as me being like a real big mean guy, and it's just that's kind of how I am, unfortunately.
Oh man, I've seen you in those group pictures. You I know I know you, like a couple other guys. You're all tall, all of you guys.
Oh no, I'm not tall. I'm short.
Oh man. Oh man, that must mean Al is very small.
I think me and Al are the same height.
Oh man. Well, man, whoever took that picture of you guys for that one article I saw written about you guys, there was an article because I looked you guys up and there was like an article written about you guys probably like maybe 7 years ago. You have your hands across your mouth, so we don't know what you look like. I know what they look like, but like I just like it's funny to see like where podcasting was like even 8 years ago to where it is now, where everybody is trying to have a podcast. I know present company included but I'm doing this more as a project, more than trying to make a life out of it. Because like, man, it seems like hell whenever I talk to people that are trying to make this like their main hustle, because you have to put like everything into it. Like I talked to Wei Ting like the other week. Hopefully this comes out after that Wei Ting episode, but like. The fact that like he pretty much gave everything up just to do post wrestling is it's like such a risk, and just because you have to keep doing this, and like I get bored doing things over and over again, and it's just like crazy how when you listen to every like wrestling show, it's just pretty much the same show, switch out who's involved and get on there. And like I kind of feel the same way about pro wrestling itself now, because like when you have AEW and WWE together, like there's so much interchange between the wrestlers and the wrestling style. Like there's really not that big of a difference for me. Although if I say that out loud to so many people, they'll say like AEW is so much better because they have so much better wrestling. And I'm like, I mean, okay, but what can you do?
I mean, I agree with that. I don't really mess with it. WWE. I never really liked WWE for the wrestling though. So as soon as AEW came along and there was like actual good wrestling in America, I was like, oh, this makes everything easier for me.
It does, honestly. Because like I sort of dropped watching weekly wrestling. Yeah. And if I just watch I just watched like that pay-per-view, right? I'm gonna love when this is gonna sound so old. So I just watched like Double or Nothing, and that Ospreay Hangman match was like that kind of match kind of captures what the modern style should be. It's not like it wasn't like a old New Japan match from like 2016 or something. It kind of like showed me what the style is now, what should be the main event style, and it was under 36 minutes, and it was killer.
Yeah,
like, that kind of style where like they're doing big hard hits, but they're also doing flips, and then they're also not midgets; they're also tall dudes. It's cool.
Yeah.
And like my other question is like, because of that, like, what wrestling style for you is like? Because like there's so many things that you guys talked about. Like, what is the style for you?
I think my ultimate like wrestling style, if I could just choose one style of wrestling forever to be in, it's definitely mid 90s Japanese junior wrestling. I think is like the ultimate best style, because there's a lot of hard hitting, there's a lot of high spots, but they don't overdo it. Everything still seems realistic. I just think it was like the perfect blend of like modern moves with still like the psychology of, yeah, this would actually hurt a lot, we can't do 10 of these. So so like I think once in the early 2000s, once that stuff hit America with like all the indie guys doing it, I think that's when it kind of became shitty. But I like the modern stuff. Like the guys who do it now are good at it, and they know most of them know that too much sometimes is not the best. But
Yeah.
still, at the end of the day, I think the mid '90s juniors had it figured out as far as like how much to do in a match.
Dude, like one of my favorite juniors of the day, that day, besides the Liger, Sasuke, Hayabusa, those are like the tenants. Ultimo Dragon is probably my favorite out of all of them. One of my real favorites besides Kakuchi is Tatsuhiko Takaiwa, because he would do all the really cool moves. He'd do lariats.
Yeah.
He had like that really cool move that I don't know why no really buff strongman does anymore. The power bombs into the Death Valley bomb.
Yeah,
Because that shit is cool, man.
yeah, that was that definitely a favorite move to use in Fire Pro for me, for all my guys, is that that Takaiwa move. It's weird that he just like disappeared and he just does sleazy indies. Well, I don't know if he still does it, but he was doing sleazy indies for a while.
Yeah, man. I kind of connect that to him being a Zainichi and people not
What's
really...
that?
Culturally Korean, born in Japan.
Oh,
'cause-
I never knew that.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of big racism out in Japan. People kind of want to treat Japan as this utopia for stuff, but it's only a utopia if you're coming there as a foreigner, not if you're actually from there. Because they'll treat what I've been on my whole thing is they've been treating foreigners nicer, and then they would treat like if someone was born there and they're from a different ethnicity, they don't get that same treatment, which is kind of fucked. Which that doesn't make any sense to me. Like if you're gonna be racist, But it's like when I think about like that style, like I think about a Takaiwa, I think about like a Benoit.
Yeah.
Ooh, Benoit. And like the dudes who like go there, they hit like the big power bomb, because like there's nothing like a cruiserweight power bomb. Like when Eddie Guerrero would hit like a power bomb on like say a Hoovy or Billy Kidman or Psychosis, like that snap.
Yeah.
That always got me. I love that. I love the way like Eddie would, cause Eddie Guerrero is my favorite wrestler, as the shirt says. Like everything he would do, like he would have like that snap to it, and you would have like that mix of the lucha and the puro with it, but combined with him being like the biggest asshole. Like 97 WCW was my shit. Like there's like nothing that like comes close to it, like as far as like my nostalgia watching, because I always go back to like 97. I keep it to like the cruiserweights. Sometimes I watch like a Goldberg squash or a Mongol squash. I love Mongol squashes. There's something like, because he comes out there, he's so clumsy. He hits you with like a briefcase. He does that knee clip and the tombstone, and that's it. 4 horsemen, baby. And like, like he was like one of my favorite like squash guys. Did you have a favorite squash guy?
I said Vicious, obviously. Yeah, it's just when I was a little kid, between Sid Vicious and Marvel comic books, because like I would get the Marvel comics, the Marvel handbooks that would have like all the stats of all the characters in it.
Hell yeah.
And so when I was a little kid, between that and Sid Vicious, I thought like minimum all adults grew to be like 6'5". Like I thought everybody was between 6'5" and 6'9", because of that was like, because they would always be like 6'9" and 7-foot skyscraper and all that stuff, and I'd be like, Sid Vicious is probably like an average guy. That's probably the average height. So I was definitely very bummed when I figured out I wasn't gonna be 6'5". So
oh man. Yeah. Oh man, being 6'5" would be so tremendous. I'd be like so head and shoulders above everybody. It's so weird though, like that was an average height like in the 90s, but then like when you see the guys from the 90s transported to now, like Billy Gunn, everybody looks so small now compared to Billy Gunn.
Yeah.
It's like, of course you're not gonna put everybody over Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn is so big. He should be Jay White. I like Psycho Sid, when he would get you like, who's the man, and like who's the master ruler of the world, and like he'd do like the choke slam and a power bomb, and like he looked cool because he had like a really cool mullet that was like a Jerry Cole mullet. And I don't know, do you think that was natural curls?
It had to be. I don't, because anytime you see him, that's what he looks like. So
yeah, I hope so. There, I actually had like the Marvel. I did collect Marvel cards.
Hmm.
From Fleer, you had like the
Yeah.
hologram stuff, and like I didn't know that those were actually like trading card game cards. I thought those were just like regular cards. So like I had
No,
like the whole
those were
sleeve.
regular cards.
Okay.
But maybe eventually maybe they made trading card game cards, but they started out making regular cards
Yeah.
because I had those too.
Yeah, you had the stats on them. You had like
Yeah.
that's how I learned about a guy like about Slapstick. I didn't know that that guy was a kid, but I never saw him like in any comics. I just saw him like in my one card.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I like
That's why I like those books. I just bought, well, like last year they made like a big omnibus of them, and I bought that because I just like looking through it and seeing all these weird guys that no one remembers because they're just weird characters that came up that were in like one book ever.
yeah. I remember one of the weird toys I had was Strong Guy. And like he had like a little baby head, but the rest
Yeah.
of him was like a giant guy. And I was like, but in the comics he had like a regular guy head and just a giant body. So like when I put him next to like my other characters like a Juggernaut or like a Hulk, he would just look weird because he'd have like this little baby head and they had full size heads. Hey man, that's just something I'm thinking about because like Marvel Comics was like also a big pivotal part of my life as a kid because you had X-Men the animated series, you
Yeah.
had the Jim Lee books because like Jim Lee to me is like that's how the X-Men look because those are also the X-Men they used in the Marvel vs. Capcom games.
Yeah.
And like it's just cool like because so like when they made like the Avengers stuff it didn't really click with me more than like because I would be more excited for watching X-Men stuff, and I guess I'd be the only one like that stuck in that kind of way, but like X-Men were just cooler than the Avengers, and I read Avengers books. The X-Men were always just had more meat to them than the Avengers
Yeah.
for me.
I feel the same way. I even the bad X-Men movies, I like those more than, than the other movies because I've always been a big X-Men fan.
Yeah, because like every X-Men movie or wants to make Cyclops like the worst. Like they didn't even like give him anything in those three. He was just kind of like whiny, and he's like the goody two shoes Boy Scout. But like I liked him in the animated series because he was so good at everything he did. And then in the X-Men 90, I don't know if you watch X-Men 97.
No, I tried. I can't really sit down and watch cartoons anymore. It just doesn't do it for me. I don't know what I can watch funny cartoons like Bob's Burgers or something,
Yeah.
but
Oh,
when it's like a real cartoon or whatever you want to say, I'm just like I can't do this.
yeah. Well, I do love Bob's Burgers. That's what we watch when we're eating dinner or lunch. When my
Yeah.
wife comes and like, that's what she wants to eat. Watch. That's what she wants to watch when you eat because we watch TV when we eat here.
Yeah.
And like it's such a nice like digestible little family friendly cute cartoon to watch.
Yeah.
And my wife loves it, so I also like it too because it's funny. I've often been compared to Bob because of my calm demeanor. And I also like kind of hearing your voice now. I do get a Bob vibe from you.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. But when I call my wife, when I say my wife is like Linda, she's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Well, you're always happy. You try to make up a dance. You," and she's like, "Oh, I see what you mean." But it's just fun. It's just a fun show. I like it. People, when it comes to pro wrestling, they always have like this thing of like being a snob. Like you were saying earlier about technical wrestling, All Japan from the 90s, presenting that as like the jishui, like that's the what wrestling is about is this kind of wrestling. And like I've always come at it where wrestling styles exist for a reason. Styles make fights, and like there isn't one wrestling style, right, that really defines wrestling for me more than like I love flips and I love big hard hitting moves. So when you're talking about like the mid 90s New Japan, that really is what stuck out with me. And I actually wasn't tape trading in like the 90s, well, because I was a little kid. I'm not gonna tape trade. But like the store next to us was owned by a Japanese guy, and he would import like Pancrase, Shudo, FMW, New Japan, and All Japan Women's and All Japan. And so like I would be able to watch like the commercial tape versions of these shows,
Mm.
and it's pretty cool. Usually it would be like chopped up matches and then like the one big match, but I thought it was cool. And were you in any of that like tape trading stuff, or were you just like somebody who just eventually watched it when it all came online, like in the zeros?
Oh no, I was definitely tape trading because that's the only way I knew how to find it. So, and it was, very expensive to still buy, so it was like
Cool.
way cheaper to tape trade. And I remember going to like Japanese video stores in New York and just never finding anything. So, but it would be like, like they would be unfriendly video stores. Like you go in there, nothing's in English, and it's just like I can't find shit. So, so yeah, I just tape traded everything. Or back then, it was still like kind of fair and easy and cheap to just buy stuff off eBay.
Wow.
But every once in a while, they would be like, we took down the listing because this is illegal, blah blah blah. But now I feel like now they charge more for bootleg wrestling shit on eBay than they did back then, and it's like so much easier to get now. But you'll find like DVD sets now of something like 1997 ECW, and somebody will be charging like $100 or something for
That's
it.
crazy.
Yeah, and like back then it would be like $10 to get a tape of whatever you wanted.
Yeah, I remember when I actually did get into the tape trading, it was like people trading VCDs,
Yeah,
which was like, I got a VCD for like All Japan, and I kind of showed that to my friends, as embarrassing as that sounds. Hey, check out Kawada, he drops this guy on his head, isn't that cool? And like, it's just like, yeah, man, but I like Stone Cold. I'm like, all right. But like,
yeah. I had like a friend back then that was super down to watch that stuff. So I think if I didn't have anybody to watch it with, I would have probably dropped it real quick.
oh man, there's so many people that I talk to that kind of like the way they watch wrestling, which is weird to me, is alone in a dark room by themselves. Which I mean,
I mean, obviously I watch wrestling alone sometimes, or my girlfriend's there and she does not give a shit.
yeah,
But that's just like how you read like complaining, because you're just watching it in the most unfun way possible. You're hunched over watching on your fucking laptop, probably bootleg, watching some stream on Baked, and like obviously you're going to complain about it a lot because
Yeah.
what else are you going to do? You're alone.
yeah, you're also not wearing your earbuds like you should be. You're listening it through the phone speaker, and I'm like, dude, how are you saying that there's no reactions to this when like your speaker is like your mono phone speaker? Like that's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
the
that's
whole,
what, and when people complain about that stuff, I'm like, get a sound bar or something, man. Like
Yeah.
doesn't obviously when it is like some dynamites where like a year ago when they would be half empty or
bad.
even more empty stadiums, and I couldn't hear the sound of it, and like you could just hear echoes of people talking. It's like, okay, this is bad. But a lot of times people are like, oh, no one's making noise, and it's like, I don't know, I think you're just probably listening on your phone or something, because
Yeah.
it's pretty loud.
Yeah, I'm like, how, like, what's your system that you're using? And like you said, I'm just watching on my phone. I'm like, of course it's gonna tell you. Are you have your earbuds in at least? No. Oh, okay. So I shouldn't take your opinion seriously. A lot of the times, like, I would get like talked about, like I'm complaining about stuff that's like irrelevant. Like, I usually complain about something where it's like a character is doing stuff that doesn't make any sense to what they were doing previously. Like what am I gonna talk about? I'll talk about this. I'll talk about like for some people, they got really mad that Moxley sucks right now. And I'm just like, I laugh at it because like I think he sucks because he wants to be booed, not because
Yeah.
he wants to suck, because obviously he hasn't sucked. He only started sucking recently. People say no, but you read things that people say like, oh no, he always sucked. He's never been good. I'm like, well, like 2023 and 2022, 2020, 2019 says differently.
Yeah.
So like, it's just funny to me for people to like have this hyperbole when it comes to like making judgments on if a wrestler is good or not, or making judgments on if the show is good or not because of how they're ingesting their wrestling. And like you said, being alone, having crappy sound and all that, you're going to really like, either you're going to live and die by it or live or die by it. So you're either going to really love it or you're going to really hate it. And I don't understand people watching something that they hate.
Yeah, I never got into that either. I don't get it. Just don't watch it. It saves you time. We're only on this earth for so long. If you hate something, like I watched Raw just because we did a podcast about wrestling. I felt the need to, and then I think I found out Al didn't even watch it, and I was just like, man, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And so I stopped watching that, and then NXT. I liked NXT up until they changed it to 2 hours, and then I was just like, I can't do this for 2 hours,
Dude.
so I stopped watching that. But yeah, it's a lot easier to just not watch something you don't like and go do something you do like.
Yeah, because like the only real currency we have left besides gold, and you should buy gold, is is time.
Yeah.
Time is like the only currency that doesn't change, and you only have a finite amount of it. And to spend it watching something you dislike or that you hate doesn't make any sense to me. Because like I because like I don't really watch the weekly stuff anymore. I don't even watch I haven't watched any of the Best of Super Juniors this year. Which
Yeah, I haven't watched New Japan in a while. I watched the Wrestle Kingdom still, but it's like I know it's not that great, so it's just like why bother?
yeah, like why bother wasting my time watching something that's gonna irritate me?
Yeah.
So like
I also just think a lot of wrestling fans need other hobbies besides wrestling, because I just think a lot of them would rather watch wrestling they hate than do something else, like go be active or do whatever. Just, find a different hobby, watch other sports. That's always like it always seems wrestling fans that don't watch sports are the ones that are the worst. And it's just like you got to watch other. If it's athletics, like if you like wrestling. I don't know. Maybe you like it for a different reason, but I like it because it's like an athletic thing and it's a competition. So just go watch other sports. Get into other sports if you hate wrestling.
yeah, I see that now more in modern fans where they came over with other interests and then just saw wrestling. Like I know this guy who's like in theater. Shout out to you, Juan, who like fell into wrestling. I'm not and just like liked the whole theater aspect and then went back and liked all the athletic aspect because he also he loves basketball and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
seeing the rivalry stuff in New Japan kind of sparked something in it because he went back and watched it, and I like that. I never judge the new. I hate when people talk down to new fans and treat them like they don't know anything, because wrestling is one of the easiest things to know and get in one shot.
Yeah.
It's not like we're running into a Wes Anderson movie or listening to Dream Theater or anything like that. You're watching wrestling, man.
That's why I don't get when people are like, "Oh, they didn't show any feature segments or promos to I don't know who this guy is." And it's like, do you turn on a hockey game and just know everybody that's playing? You can't even see their fucking faces. They wear helmets. There's 18 guys constantly switching out every 5 minutes. Obviously, not everybody likes hockey, but it's like people aren't whining every time they turn on hockey. Like, oh, I don't know who this guy is. Like, fucking watch it, Google it, figure it out. You don't need to know everything all the time.
It's so weird that people want to know. They'll try to hold it over other people that they know so much more about wrestling than they do. I know a weird inordinate amount about pro wrestling, but I never rub it in anyone's face because I'm embarrassed that I know this much about it.
Yeah.
It's
sure.
it's because I'm like, okay, why are you guys acting? I hate when people try to be tastemakers in pro wrestling, and the way that they say this is the right way to this wrestling that's the right wrestling, and I hate that. I hate that. That's so many of the things that you see on YouTube, from freaking Cultaholic. I'm never gonna be on their channel, Wrestle Talk. I'm never gonna interview any of these people because these people are boring to me. They don't excite me. So just people reliving the nostalgia stuff too, and as far as they're not even going deep into the nostalgia stuff. When I listened to the Laps Fan, they went into the weird biography of Dory Funk Sr. and how he had he was the handler at a boys orphanage, and I think some guy died during his watch or something like that. They threw him into the river, or the previous guy that was watching, they threw him into the river, and that's how he died. But that shit is interesting to me. You going and saying, this is a deep cut from WCW as Wrath faces this other jobber and blah blah blah. I'm like, shout out to you, Tom Green. And like that stuff like is not like a deep cut that's like interesting to me. So when I like look at like stuff that I really like because I love the history of this stuff because it's interesting to me. Because
Yeah.
what else profession can you have where there's so many psychopaths that are so intent on keeping the image up of this character? There's nothing else like that. I mean, there's Mr. T who became Mr. T, which is kind of sad. But like you like when you think about it, like, well, I just watched that Dark Side of the Ring of the Sheik, right? Never speaking English in public, just always speaking Arabic, which is cool as hell. Like that's cool. And then like wearing jewels and coming out like in a limo and all that stuff is cool to me. But it's just like it seems like that would be really hard to keep up in your real life, like having a secret identity and having like a real identity. So like guys who had worn the mask, like say a Mil Mascaras or El Santo or like the Destroyer, they could just Destroyer had that nose, so like if you saw him in real life, you'd probably recognize him by his nose. But like they wear the mask and then they go home, they can be themselves, which I think is cooler, and that's why kind of like how mask kind of like appealed to me. Besides the whole the Batman aspect of like Batman wears the mask and then he becomes Bruce Wayne. But so like a guy like Liger or Tiger Mask or like Juventud Guerrera, like they put on the mask and they become like this person. And that's also a lot why the juniors appeal to me, is because you don't really see heavyweight mask guys besides like Kane.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So like, is there like, I know you like the juniors, but like who had the coolest mask to you?
Obviously Hayabusa's up there, but
Hell yeah.
I think I would have to say Sasuke. That was like the one. I think the whole outfit where I was just like, man, that guy's badass. And I remember Sasuke, I can't remember if I saw him before this, but I remember, no, I don't think I did, because they were building him up in ECW, because I watched ECW every week.
Yeah.
And they were talking about like, I felt like months, they were just like, this guy's coming to ECW, and he's, they show him doing the space flying tiger drop, and I was just like, that's like the coolest guy ever. And then his first match in, he loses to Justin Credible. I was just like, what? like what is this? But yeah, him and I would put him as number one, I think.
Yeah, the whole like ninja outfit too, and like Virtual Pro Wrestling 64, WCW, and the Real World Tour. The ninja outfit was so cool.
Yeah.
It kind of like when I actually saw him live, it was during his weird Randy the Ram kind of like phase. So like he was wearing those like tiny panties.
Yeah.
And like it was like kind of disappointing because he was already old and he was doing the Ram Jam as his move. So it's just like, okay, I guess it's great Sasuke still, but it's not the great Sasuke from when I was.
He's like the one guy I've still never seen live. Every time he's here, it's like it's not near me, or I'm doing something or something like that. So and now I think it's probably too late. I saw Ultimo Dragon for the first time 2 years ago, and it was very depressing. So
yeah, he always teases he's gonna do the acai, but he never does it, and like he's fat. I'm like, how is he gonna do it? So he's just. I saw
him in like a 6-man lucha match. So at a lucha promotion. So he didn't do anything. Like he was maybe in the match for like 2 minutes, and then he just sold outside for the rest of the match. It was really depressing.
That's depressing, but that's also really cool.
Yeah,
because
he was super pissed because he was selling masks and they're really expensive, and right next to him was Psycho Clown at a lucha show who was selling masks for a lot cheaper. And Psycho Clown, the lines for Psycho Clown at lucha shows are always just out of the door for hours. So I think he was super pissed because it was like no one came to see him, and there's just hundreds of kids around Psycho Clown for the whole entire show.
Well, like Psycho Clown is an actual star right now. Ultimo Dragon was last a star like maybe 25 years ago. Maybe 20 years ago, if people remember the WWE run, and I don't think about it. So it kind of sucks that Psycho Clown's gonna be in WWE now. So I do wonder how that's gonna end up, because I know he's not that good of a wrestler, but his masks were cool, and they're definitely gonna take away that Kiss song that he uses.
Yeah, he has a lot of copywritten material, so I don't know. I don't know if he's going to actually be in WWE. He's going to be in triple A WWE, but I don't know if they have All American Wrestling has bad job translating lucha guys into American style wrestling. So I don't know. Even like when GCW brought in Psycho Clown, like no one really gave a shit. So I don't know. It's you got to see him in front of a Mexican crowd. Like I saw him at a lucha show versus Pagano, who's also not the greatest wrestler. And man, that might be one of the best matches I've ever seen, just because of how crazy the crowd was going. Like so many little kids with like Pagano makeup on or Psycho Clown masks on, just losing their shit. And this is just like, and all they did was, just like an easy brawl with some like high spots, but it was just like such a crazy thing to witness live.
Yeah, the crowd when you go to these like smaller lucha shows, because I love going to the smaller lucha shows because it's so grimy. It's not really grimy. It's more like a family oriented thing. I'm sure like if you're like an uncomfortable white person, you're gonna go there and you're gonna be like, oh, too many brown people here. But like you go to the shows, like they have like the carnival barkers, they have like all the merch table, like the luchadors are working the merch table. And like you get the people with like the horns and the drums, and like it rules. I love that part.
They sell food, and it's great. Like even the grimiest shows, they still sell food.
Yeah, and it's like really really good. Like you get some birria taco, you get some.
Yeah.
I had some last lucha show I went to. I had like really really good papusas, and it's really fun. It's a really fun time to go to a lucha show.
And there was this one promotion around here, Galley. That's the main lucha promotion around here. And right before COVID, they had like the best tamales I've ever had in my life. Whoa. And then since they came back from COVID, I've only been to a few shows since they came back from COVID, but like the tamale lady's not there anymore, and it just sucks.
I know you're a transplant to Chicago, so like there's like there's a tamale lady there. There's a tamale man that's always out there that they put on.
I bought tamales from him. His tamales aren't that great. They're nice because he comes into bars when you're drunk, and you're like, oh shit, yeah, I'll buy 6 tamales, but they're definitely not as good. there is such a thing as a good tamale and a bad tamale. Yeah,
the good tamale is like they don't have more meat. They have a good amount of meat. They have a good amount of sauce, and like the masa is always like moist. But not dry. It's not dry masa, but like it's not like wet where like it's like mush. It's like you cut into it, it's like a corn cake. It's like kind of like and that's what a good tamale is for me. Is like you cut into it, it's kind of like eating like a cake or with some meat in it. Like, and the sauce always has to be good. And then sometimes you get the extra sauce on top, but like usually what's in between like the soup, because it's kind of equivalent to like a xiaolong bao, like where it's like the sauce and the thing cooks as it's like steamed. So like when you cut into it and you get the sweet sauce from the tamale and all that, it's good, man. I love tamales. I learned the hard way that if you see a place that has Chicago style tamales, that just means it's the frozen ones that they microwave. And I learned that the hard way because they charge like $4 for it too. It's just like, this is not a good deal. I could have bought this at the store. Yeah, well, when I go to the Hat, I never get the tamale because like it's even though I know Mexican people work there, it's not a Mexican tamale. It's just like the tamale you buy and then they throw like chili on top of it.
Yeah,
which is like, I guess, but like a real Mexican tamale, you taste like the corn, you taste like the seasoning, all that stuff. That brings me to another question, like, because I asked this to Scott, who I'm definitely gonna put before you, is just like, what would be your ultimate, like, your final meal, but like it's a fast food meal?
Final fast food meal, man.
Like you could go like five things from 5 different places, but that's like your last meal.
Okay, if it's 5 things from 5 different places, definitely a Crunchwrap from Taco Bell.
Oh yeah.
Definitely a McGriddle from McDonald's. I wish any of these places had good nachos, but no fast food places have good nachos. I guess if Portillo's counts, then definitely an Italian beef from Portillo's.
Okay.
Also, if it counts, a cheesesteak from Jersey Mike's. I don't really love Jersey Mike's cheesesteaks, but cheesesteaks is my favorite sandwich, so I gotta do that. And man, one more. Let's see. I might go with Potbelly, which is a chain here. I know they had them in New York too, but they weren't abundant, so I don't know where they are. But actually, no, fuck that. I gotta get a cheeseburger. So I guess In-N-Out for cheeseburger. I've only had In-N-Out once, but I'm trying to think. Like In-N-Out and Culver's probably has the best fast food cheeseburger. So
Yeah.
probably either In-N-Out or Culver's cheeseburger.
Oh, I'm biased. I love In-N-Out because I grew up next to like the original In-N-Out in Malden Park.
Yeah.
I'm pointing with my thumb, even though I'm not on camera. But like, I grew up next to like that original like In-N-Out, so like I've been going to In-N-Out probably since I was a baby. Which I don't think like hamburgers is a good baby food, but my parents tried, so um, it's that's an interesting thing because like you guys are known as the Burger Boss, not the Burger Boss. That's
Border Boss.
your show's known as Border Boss. I don't know why I think about Burger, but that's a game from that Bob's Burger. When he's trying to, but yeah, you guys are known as the Border Boss. So like, I'm happy to see that you put the Crunch Wrap in there, and
Yeah.
I was happy that they did bring the Crunch Wrap back because like it didn't make sense to not have the Crunch Wrap.
No, it's. I think it's probably one of the greatest fast food inventions of all time. Probably.
It's so weird because like I'm a Disney adult, so I go to Disneyland, and they did copy the Crunch Wrap, but it's like it's good, but it's not like the same. I kind of like I need that wherever that sour cream comes from with that tomatoes and lettuce and all that mystery ground beef. Because like if you get the steak option at Taco Bell, I don't know what
Yeah,
you're doing.
no.
That's you get
You-
ground beef.
You got to stick with the ground beef because it's all right if ground beef's kind of shitty, but steak that's kind of shitty is bad.
Yeah, like because like you're just biting into mystery chunks and you don't know where they come from.
Yeah.
And like if I'm gonna do that, I'm just gonna go get like some like tongue taco, some lengua tacos from like the actual taco spot. But if I'm going to Taco Bell or Del Taco, I love Del Taco. Is like you get that ground beef that you don't know where it comes from, but like it feels good when you bite into it because it's just like it's a feeling of home. Yeah, man, I'm so honored to have you on, man. This is like the manhood dream come true for me. I like
Well, you're aiming a little low, but I
like-
appreciate it. I appreciate it.
yeah, my aiming is low because I'm a bald man in his 40s who started a podcast. So like, there's so many of us, but like I feel like having you guys as like kind of a guiding light to what I want to do. I feel like it's better than just copying whatever anybody else is doing. And like, yeah, man, I want to thank you like personally because I know I told you this like in the DM, but like, you and Al like are my idols as far as like doing this thing because I always wanted to do this. I always like wanted to like not that I felt like I had something to say, but like I always felt like I love talk radio. There's like a lost art to this, and you guys kind of like hit that right sweet spot between like independent podcast but like actual kind of professional sounding presentation. Not as far as like sound quality, but you guys' sound quality was excellent. But like as far as like the presentation and how you guys talk, it didn't come off like fake disc jockeys. It came off more like guys who knew what they were doing, which is few and far between as far as I'm concerned when it comes to the wrestling podcast space. Like you guys are literally my idols, and this means so much to me. You have no idea. And I know that's embarrassing for me to say. I told Al that, and I said, please don't tell Mike because that's embarrassing. But I wanted to tell you personally because it's true, man. Like it's crazy like how open you guys were with your fan base, and you guys like created a Discord, and like I've been in that Discord for so long. I know I annoyed you a lot when I first started there because I used to at you a lot, but but I had so many questions, and like it's part of like that whole weird. I think what they call it is a parasocial relationship, but I don't think it was really that because I'm not really like putting it like on that kind of weird pedestal where like, oh man, this guy is so important to me. But I mean, you are as far as like who I look to as like someone to sort of emulate in this kind of presentation. But I mean, like you guys were in my ears for like 8 years, so how else I'm gonna like treat you guys more than just like you guys? I listen to you and I'm a big fan, and I know that's great to hear. So
No, it's cool. I appreciate it.
yeah, man. When I talk about stuff all the time, because when I talk about pro wrestling, it always goes back to like my sweet spot. My sweet spot is always like it could change. Like it could go like back to like the 2010s with New Japan, or it could go back to like '97 WCW, or even like the zeros because I loved going to PWG like in the aughts. That was like my independent I used to go to. So what are your favorite sweet spots? What are your sweet spots? Oh, that's so weird to ask. What's your G spot, man?
It's mostly all mid to late '90s stuff, like mid '90s New Japan, mid '90s New Japan juniors. I never really got into the heavyweight stuff. Now I kind of appreciate it, but I just never super got into it. But late or mid to late '90s All Japan heavyweights, which I think is like the most brutal wrestling ever. Just like it's just so stoic and brutal, and I don't know. Like I'm not always in the mood for it, but I just think it's probably like the best wrestling to like as far as actual wrestling, like literal wrestling. These guys are really literally killing themselves to do this stupid shit, and it's just pretty amazing.
Yeah, man.
And always all of ECW. Like I think ECW had the perfect American style wrestling. I love ECW's weird characters. They took shitty characters that no one liked and made them good, and it's endlessly like I know a lot of people shit on it now. They're like, "Oh, ECW wasn't that good." And I don't know, man. I still think ECW is the greatest American promotion of all time. So
I loved it. I mean,
yeah,
because like I'm from LA. Oh, I sound like that guy that says I'm from New York, but I'm from LA, and like ECW reached over here, and like people like kind of like underrate the reach of ECW because like how did a guy from LA who watched it like on like one of the the cable access channel, that's where it was on like Prime TV or whatever, and like to see like Sabu, to see the Gangsters, to see freaking Rob Van Dam. Rob Van Dam was the coolest wrestler for me as a kid because like he smoked weed and he did martial arts, and he had like a really cool way he talked and like and the ponytail. It's always the ponytail too. But I also love Jean-Claude Van Damme.
yeah.
And he did the Van Damme kick like all the time, like that spinny kick. I always thought that was cool. Like, but yeah, there's something about like the having like the misfit kids that didn't fit in like WWF and WCW, or like when they would have like Cactus Jack jump in, and like Cactus Jack would be like way cooler than what he was in WCW because like he'd try new stuff out. Because my favorite wrestler of all time is Cactus Jack. So yeah, I love sicko wrestling. I love garbage wrestling. That's one of my favorite styles too. Just like people falling on bricks and falling on fire and getting pierced and cut up. That appeals to me. And I just think like ECW kind of like just encompassed the whole like griminess of like what I liked in the 90s because I love the X-Men also, but I also I like stuff like Spawn. I like the I like that kind of like stuff. I like the Crow movie, like just that kind of violent stuff I love. So the ECW with like that music too from like the Crow, they'd have like all this alternative music like on ECW.
Yeah,
I'd always hear that "Hey Man, Nice Shot" song. Tommy Dreamer came out to like Alice in Chains, and then my uncle is Mikey Nez. So like every time he came out, I was like, oh, that my uncle's in that band. So
wow, that's pretty crazy.
Well, he's a really nice guy, really humble guy, but it's just funny.
Is he a wrestling guy? Was he one of your wrestling on?
I don't know. I should. I'm going. That's gonna be. I should try to get him on. That'd be cool. I'll ask him. I'm sure I can do it because he did meet with one of my little cousins who's trying to get into the music business. So I'm sure like he'll meet with one of me, the older ones who's trying to do. I don't know what the hell I'm trying to do, but maybe. Let's see. Because you're in a couple of different hardcore bands, right?
I was, when I was younger, but yeah.
Yeah. So like, as far as music goes, like, who are some of your favorite theme songs?
Wrestling theme songs?
Wrestling?
It's really weird. It's really weird because I think it's cool that AEW uses licensed music.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But I do think it's weird when people listen to actual wrestling theme songs outside of wrestling. So
Yeah, Al loves the Judas song
yeah,
so much.
yeah. So it's tough because I have to separate them. So like back in the day, like Riz Ramon's theme song, Demolition theme
Oh
song.
yeah.
Currently, I know everybody makes fun of it, including Al, but I think that MJF theme song is a good wrestling theme song. I don't think it's good music, but it's
The
I
moment,
think
like the first three chords you hear, and
Yeah.
like I groan right away because I know like when I went to Revolution, you hear that like ding 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 ding, you're like ah. But like those first chords are like always the most important part of the theme for me, because
Yeah.
like that always like lets you know who's gonna come. So yeah, I'm sorry to cut you off, man.
no, that's the thing. I think for wrestling, it doesn't matter how bad the song is. It just has to be like a memorable 30 seconds. That's all it needs to be. You don't need a whole full song. Sometimes it works. Like Mance Warner used to come out to that Creedence Clearwater song that was it Honest Man? I can't believe I'm forgetting, but that song, and he would wait until like the 5-minute intro, and it's cool like once to see some guy wait for them to hit the big part of the song, but then it gets boring. I just want somebody to come out. I want them to have 30 seconds of cool music. I don't really care what genre it is. As long as it sounds cool for 30 seconds is all that matters. And it fits the guy that's coming out to it.
Everybody's trying to be Undertaker and the Sandman with that stuff.
Yeah.
And like it kind of sucks, like because like I went to like one show with Nick Gage, and like he waits for the whole what's it come out to? Is it
Oh yeah, for whom the bell tolls.
For Whom the Bell Tolls? Like he dubs out through the whole song. Ding 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 ding. Okay.
Yeah.
Because it'd be cool like if he came out and that was it for like the first, before like the chorus starts, like he has to have the whole song play. When the Sandman does it, it was cool when the Sandman does it because he walks around, he smokes, he drinks, he bashes himself in the face with his Singapore cane. He has one of the fans jerk off the Singapore cane. It's cool. But like these guys are literally just walking and staring and walking and staring.
Yeah.
There's like no production to it, because like a big part of wrestling to me is the production of it. Like you're trying to present yourself as this person, and the first impression that you get is from the entrance. So like when someone just comes out and just walks, stares out the crowd, walks, stares at the other side of the crowd, and then they're just waiting, they're just banging their head. It's just like, what the hell is this? At least do a dance. Like Alex Wright would do a dance. Yeah, man. I usually love my dinners to end with like dessert. So my question for you, Mike, is what's your favorite dessert?
This is a tough one for me because I've been thinking about it for the whole show. And I love sweets, but I don't really have like a strong favorite. So if I had if a gun to my head, I don't even know if you could classify it as a dessert because people eat it with regular meals like weirdos. But I think like my favorite dessert is a milkshake. I think a good milkshake is like the best kind of sweet thing you could have.
Hey man, like when I go to In-N-Out, I always put the milkshake in my freezer, and then I eat it like as an ice cream like after when I'm done eating.
Yeah, that's the thing. I love milkshakes, but anytime I'm around them, it's because I'm at some place eating dinner, and I just don't want to have a full ass milkshake with dinner. So I don't. So it's a true dessert for me because I rarely have them, but when I do, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. There's no refills on them. That'd be crazy though. If there's a place that does refills on milkshakes,
Yeah,
I would go there.
I would be dead. I think I could handle one milkshake before my stomach gets weird. So.
Oh yeah. They don't tell you this about when you get old. When you get older, your stomach shrinks.
Yeah.
And like I used to be like a big all you can eat sushi, all you can eat Korean barbecue guy. But like I can't get my value out of it because I can't eat rice anymore as how I want to. I love rice. I'm Filipino. I have to love rice because everything we cook has like some saltiness to it. So it's just like when I go to Korean barbecue, like I get like one cup of rice, but then I never finish it, and I always feel bad because like I hear my grandma's voice in my head like, "Oh, Kiniram, you should finish that. You know who died too, so you could eat that rice. My God!" Like I hear that in my head, like, "Okay, Lola, why you're guilting me?" But I know like the immigrant guilt, like you had to finish this one because they didn't have it because it was like, you know, the
Yeah, I used
depression
to-
and all that.
I used to get that. I used to get beat if I didn't finish my dinner. So
Oh.
I have this. I have this. I have this. I have the same problems where I'm just like don't want to ever waste food.
Yeah, like I just feel the guilt of like my mom. Like I feel the generations like, um, you because I know you watch Res Dogs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, like when like she went to the prison and like all like the ancestors were around her when she's visiting her whatever her aunt who also could see
Yeah.
the. That's how I felt when like I see like leftover rice. I feel like all my, I feel like all my ancestors peering over my shoulder, like saying like, "Don't be a bitch. Finish that rice. What's she doing?" Yeah, man. This has been fantastic. This is everything I really hope for, man. Like, I appreciate you taking your time out of your day to like, chop it up with me, and
For
like,
sure.
just yeah, man. I appreciate it. I'm hoping without by the time this comes out, I've already beaten Booker T. Yeah. So I just want to say like thank you so much, man. It's been like an honor and a pleasure to have you on here because like it rules. You rule, man. Like
Hey, thanks.
and like my final question of the night is like to quote some illustrious host, what do you want your rainbow to say?
Don't ever work for free.
That's good, man. That's a good
Yeah.
ass rainbow.
Yeah, that's something you should always think about in your head. Don't ever do work for free.
Yeah, man. I remember one time I thought I was gonna I went and did like chores for like my friend's dad, right? And I thought like they were gonna pay me in something. But like they took us to In and Out, but then I had to pay for my own meal. So like I was like I laid bricks, right? I was taking bricks and moving it to whatever place, and like we finished. And like, hey, come on, let's go, guys. Jumped in the car and like, oh, you got yourself right. I'm like, oh, you the free
That's
thing was
great.
driving me to In and Out. That's awesome. Needless to say, that I learned something that day is to always get paid before you do the work.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, do you have anything you want to plug or?
If you're into obscure old hardcore music or metal, I do a podcast called First 7-Inch Club. You can find it anywhere you find podcasts. And I do other stuff, but it's hardly updated. I do a retro food ghoul on Instagram, updated like 3 times a year. I started a new Instagram called TV Opens. It's just title screens of old television. Again, it's very old school internet. I don't think it's for everybody, but First 7-Inch Club is the main thing I'm doing now. So if you're into music, or at least every 20 or so minutes of the episode in the beginning is usually general talk. So it's not all music. So if you're not a hardcore fan, you just want to hear me talk about stuff, it's a good place to hear me talk about stuff.
I love it. I can hear you talk about stuff all day, man. But yeah, I just want to thank you for coming on to my show. I want to thank you for doing this when I know you didn't have to. And speaking for the rest of your lost fans, for not lost, there's so many of us. Your virtual, I don't know what you would call your VTRLPRS fans.
They're VTBags.
Oh, yeah. There you go. For my VRTbags, my fellow VRTbags, I want to say thank you for everything that you did. Thank you for all the audio art that you gave us. And man, if you guys ever did the more limited release shirts, you guys are probably going to make a bank.
I don't know. Everybody does it now. I think it's pretty played out. So I don't even know if anybody would care anymore.
I would. So like, you could charge me an arm and I'm just kidding. But yeah, man, thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you for having me. And before I go, I just want to say Dr. Keith stinks. Just want to get that out there.